Why aren't you at school? Well, it's Saturday, Dad. So why don't you go out and look at a school? Siskel and Ebert, they get first class treatment. The movie that they're going to watch is the Rain Man sequel, Snowman.
Definitely melted. Definitely melted. Definitely bad.
Shame on me if you want, but I'm cracking season 8 Roseanne. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the hair, maybe it's the little tan. I think it's a combination of both of them.
Happened in the 90s.
Weird Al was mean on that accordion. I'm gonna be all the way thou wow with you.
Who else could even say that? You know what I mean? I feel like he made the accordion cool. I don't know. I think so.
Urkel, and that's a fictional character.
Yeah, and he was out there doing the Lord's work on the daily. I mean, he's still bringing the accordion to the forefront. He still does stuff. There's a show called Comedy Bang Bang. He does that. Also, just a hilarious dude. He did that UHF movie in the 80s, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
Do you have a favorite Weird Al song?
It's got to be probably Fat.
Mm.
Because he had a lot of material back in those early ones with the Michael Jackson song. So
yeah,
trying to go through it. I mean, I feel like Fat is probably my favorite one. And it's a fun music video too.
I totally overlooked that one. I was thinking Eat It.
See, there we go. Eat It. I like a lot of these obesity spoof songs, Steve. Eat It's also a dope song.
He did a Nirvana one too. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I think it's Alapalooza, the one with like the Jurassic Park spoof cover. Back in junior high, especially, I feel like he was on like peak Weird Al. He was just everywhere. I just always thought he was like hilarious. And the fact that he can just throw a mean accordion into the mix also, it's fantastic. Also the hair. I always loved some Weird Al hair, which he just continues to have. I actually had a mailman in LA that looked exactly like him. I thought it was Weird Al.
Who knows, man?
It could have been.
This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your New World Order t-shirts and your New Jack City tapes, because that's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion. Stipe 316, baby.
I just broke your ass.
Today, my friend, we're talking all things March 12th in the 90s. Because I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blickety black, y'all. Starting off in 1990, Sinead O'Connor would release I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm confused by the title, Steve. I can't tell where she's going with it. Not a Sinead fan, Steve. I like ripping up a Pope photo on stage. I like being having the spotlight and doing something wacky like that. This album, it's got a Prince cover in it, and I think that's what everybody loves about it.
That's all I cared about. Something I didn't get about this album was that it was considered the best album of 1990. The same year, Vanilla Ice released To the Extreme. Ice Ice Baby, the same year MC Hammer released You Can't Touch This. I refuse to believe this.
This is the best album. This. Even Prince, who's getting a credit on the album, would be like,
Album of the year? That's insane, man. I think Tribe Called Quest dropped their album, smash hit. I believe Public Enemy dropped an album that was dope. Been a couple. Alice in Chains made their debut in 1990. So I listened to the Sinead O'Connor album for the first time and only time, and it sounds pretty basic.
It seems like a Sinead O'Connor album, which I got to be honest with you. Like I said, not the hugest fan, but when a cover song is the best song, it can't be the best album of the year, for sure. And when you put it up against any of the names, give it to Hammer. Shit.
Didn't it?
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Apparently not. He didn't get any love, Steve. And God bless him for having that button on my little machine here where I could play that at that convenient time. But
that's a keeper.
Yeah. Sinead, You ripping up the Pope picture, to me, that's your signature moment, and that's what I'm going to hold in the Matthew G. Annals of History for Sinead O'Connor. That's the dictionary definition for me, Steve.
Bald head, scallywag, ain't got no hair in bag, jailed up. Nah, R.I.P. Sinead, you did your thing. But in 1991, REM would release Out of Time. Cause I thought I heard you laughing.
Thought I heard you scream.
Doesn't give you the feels. You just want to get you
I
in
just
the
can't
groove.
get it, Steve. There's so much in the 90s that I love. So much of this type of music I love. But to me, Steve, and I'll speak from like my perspective in the 90s, okay? This came out. There was another band that I think was called Live. Was that not their name? Who had a bald
Loritos,
head.
all right, Loritos, can you hear the dolphins cry?
Exactly. So I always compared those bands, and I always liked Live more. I don't like REM. I don't like the mandolin as an instrument, as a musical instrument. I
Why?
do respect Michael Stipe because I feel like he has a really funny sense of humor. I've seen him in some stuff as an actor, and I think he's got a sense of humor, but I just didn't dig REM, Steve. I dig the imagery behind you. That's iconic imagery. So I dig that, but I don't the music, it doesn't tingle my fingers, Steve.
Use my other hand. One of these days, I'm gonna get you sold on some Michael Stipes and crew.
Uh-uh.
Because
Uh-uh.
hey,
I'll
man,
please, man. I'm an open book. You put me onto so much music just doing the show. I would give it a chance, and I did, but you're gonna have to break through a nice thick wall of ambivalence, Steve. Wow, that was really intelligent sounding. Sorry,
somebody's
Mike.
been digging in the Websters.
I got it up, Steve. I got something up over here. So
Yeah.
smart words to use with Steve. It's a list I curate every week to sound smarter on the show.
Hey, man, A for effort. But you know what the world needs is more shiny, happy people holding shiny, happy people holding hands.
Wasn't that the chick from the B-52s?
Sounds
I
about right.
think it is. I think they collaborated on it. And that song, Steve, if I have to pick a favorite, that's the one. That's a vibe song to me, the Losing My Religion song, it's a bummer song to listen to. I get it. Like, you should have a sad song to listen to every once in a while, but it always just bums me out, you
What,
know?
what about Man on the Moon?
Mm, I mean, it's fine. It's good for the movie, for sure. But I don't know, man. I'm not an REM fan, but I'll allow myself to be sold on it. I don't want to push it away, Steve. I don't want to just throw away the CD.
Keeping it ashore at least.
That's me in the corner, not liking Mike Stipe.
In 1993, CB4 premieres. A guy makes a documentary of the rap band CB4 by following them. CB4 got popular by stealing Gusto's name, background, and image. He wants them dead. Directed by Tamara Davis, starring Chris Rock, Alan Payne, Deezer D, Charlie Murphy, Candy Alexander, Phil Hartman, and Chris Elliott.
Banger. Banger alert. You want to talk about iconic imagery, Steve? The cover of this movie, I mean, I wish I still had this poster. This is one of the greatest posters of all time. I don't know what you call this, a spoof movie, a comedy movie, whatever you want to call it. It's one of the best. It's one of the best music movies.
And very quotable. Why aren't you at school? Well, it's Saturday, Dad. So, why don't you go out and look at a school?
Art Evans is a legend also. It's full of legends. We even get Pootie Tang before he was Pootie Tang. We get Candy Alexander just, oh my God, Steve. I got a new crush watching this again. I forgot about it.
This is how I first found out about Candy Alexander. It was this and House Party 3. I was like, man, something about her look that's just different, just erotic looking.
She's like a dick whisperer. You know what I'm saying?
The dick whisperer.
That's what she is. She's an oracle, Steve.
She knows what she's doing. All like I know exactly what you mean. The look, the way she talks, her hair, her attitude. She knows the moves, all the little freaky angles. Yeah, you're not going to win. You're going to turn into stone if you look hard enough in different
Please
ways.
will. You definitely will. Because I did, Steve.
Yeah.
Then and now. I completely forgot she was in this. I forgot that part of the movie. I don't even know how I did that, but goddamn, Candy Alexander. News radio should have survived just off the back of Candy Alexander, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I got to get in that.
Hey, bitch.
3 generations of gangsterdom. 3 generations.
Charlie Murphy. I mean, I think after Chappelle's show was his like ultimate climax where he became known like to a huge audience. But for God's sake, we get him, we get Chris Rock. Alan Payne is, I mean, he's famous enough, but like Chris Elliott, comic legends, Steve.
Phil Hartman.
It's an SNL fest on top of just being a fantastic movie. And I know this doesn't have like whatever the SNL production company is, but if we're talking about successful SNL alum movies, this is up there with Wayne's World, with all of the bangers. This one's up there. Tommy Boy, all of them.
Tamara Davis directed this, man, who directed Half Baked. The kid who plays Phil Hartman's son, he was in Mighty Ducks, and
Hell yeah.
he was in that episode of Full House that we covered where he was being abused by his dad.
That's it. We were trying to figure it out. We thought it was just, we were thinking Mighty Ducks, but yeah. You know what else I liked about this movie, Steve? It speaks on how movies are timed now. This movie's like an hour and a half long. You don't even get time to enjoy it to the fullest extent, the perfect amount. It still holds up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Alan Payne, he had some of the funniest parts. Yeah. I'm licking your balls. Best balls I ain't had. Got King Kong balls.
When they're at the one place and the guy's like, there's something just so familiar about your voice.
Have you been on radio?
Nah, man.
Turn around and eat your big ass biscuit.
Oh my God, dude. But I mean, I loved it then. I love it now. This one actually kind of like slipped in just my visibility of movies, but this is right back up near just like one of the best movies of my generation, Steve. I love this movie so much.
Straight out of Low Cash, Sweat from My Balls. Classics, man.
Oh man, and it's just done so. And Chris Elliott, just like him being in there and just being the dumb white guy that's just ignorant of everything. He's hilarious. Yeah, he's just like a little kid.
We're going to the hood.
I just like to say, I just love it. This is great.
Yeah, she liked the big long dicks.
I brought my Jimmy hat. It's like a fucking. Oh my God, dude! This the whole movie. Everything's just perfect, and I think like Charlie Murphy wrote on this. There's just a lot of comedy gold in this movie. I don't know why it doesn't get as much credit as it should, but it should be spoke about in comedies, especially from the '90s when we're just talking about all times. This is up there, man. This is really. It was really fun to watch again.
And can't forget Mary Jane plays.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but just Candy Alexander, just to like put an exclamation point on it. I mean, it's the highlight of the movie to me. Oh, God bless.
And then the low light is seeing Chris Rock in drag. But
yeah, that's definitely.
Looks
like the female gremlin from Gremlins.
With the lipstick and I might have been scarier.
It was Steve.
In 1995, The Critic is airing season 2, episode 2, Siskel and Ebert and Jay and Alice. Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert break up their partnership as movie critics, and each of them considers Jay as a potential replacement for the other. Hilarity ensues.
This might be one of the best Critic episodes, Steve. This is a great one. It's very musical, which you love. John Lovitz always kills that. It's got a lot of funny movie parodies, which you love. And you get legit Siskel and Ebert doing the voices, even the singing.
Gene Shalit and Rex Reed to boot.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who Rex Reed was.
I'm assuming he was another film critic because they had Gene Shalit in there too.
It's probably like a New York Times columnist, somebody in like a famous publication. But yeah, man, Critic, I think it is like one of those cult classic cartoons that everybody who knew about it and knows about it and saw it and seen it agrees that it has legs. It could have been more. Probably they could still do it. And this is a very fun episode. And kind of like, I wouldn't say tugging at the heartstrings, but it is kind of nice that you get to hear and see like Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, and they're both like have passed. To see them in this, and it's like this fun thing that they're playing off their friendship and stuff. I dig it.
And this is a rare thing. Siskel and Ebert, they rarely made cameos in anything, TV or movie. And the reason is because they didn't want to have a bias.
Yeah, they actually had morality, which, wow. It wasn't just them getting paid by Warner Brothers or whoever to say the movie's great.
But it helped that they were actual fans of the show, too.
It's a show about the movie critics, Steve. I mean, it's how could they not, man? This is them.
I don't know, Gene Siskel. I remember him being a tough critic. Out of the two, he was the stern, like the hard sell. He was the Matt of the two.
Definitely he was. He was more like clinical and like surgical with his critiques. And the one thing that always blew my mind, and this, rest in peace, Roger Ebert. But the thing that always blew my mind, man, this guy's a movie critic, critiques everything about movies. But then if you ever saw the movie he made, that movie Valley of the Dolls, I think it is.
Yeah.
It is it is a terrible movie, Steve. It is not good. So it's just crazy. It's like one of those things that makes you think about critics where it's like, it's just basically you got to find one you trust and stick with them so you know what their voice is about. But I always found that crazy.
Those who can teach, those who can't critic.
Yeah, critique. Yeah, but I was always a huge fan of this show. It stinks. I just all those like one-liners he has in the show, it always just sticks with me. There's an episode where he's selling a book. Buy my book. I just hear that. It's John Lovitz in my head all the time. I might have a problem, actually.
This episode, it's a special Oscar edition. They start off with a film called Children of a Lesser Godzilla. There's a kid who understands Godzilla. He can interpret to the rest of the normies. He says he wants to meet all of you for breakfast. And then Godzilla eats them all. Oh, he said eat you. Oh, well. My favorite is Planet of the Dogs. The dogs have evolved. One of the dogs wants to get closer to Charlton Heston. Quit rubbing my leg, you bloody Bowsers.
Dr. Zayas, stop sniffing my butthole. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go rub against this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Oscars are coming up, Steve. And Jay, being one of like 10 critics in the United States, this is his Super Bowl time, Steve. He's not getting the respect that he deserves.
That's on par for Mr. Jay Sherman. He wants to bring Alice, his bae.
His little smoky voice, Southern Belle, Steve.
His boss, Duke, he always assumes Jay is gay. And then Jay, again, for the millionth time, is like, dude, I am not gay. It's like, oh, yeah, I believe you. And then he visualizes Jay as everyone in the Village People.
Jay's not getting a limo, Steve. He's not going to get a plane. Tough boss. So Jay's looking forward to it. Alice is like, hey, I can't go. I have a daughter. So Jay's like, oh, that's fine. My dad can watch her. I don't like this, Steve. This sounds dangerous.
The dad is probably my favorite character on the show. He's so aloof because we cut to Alice's daughter with Jay's dad, and they're driving in a monster truck.
He's just doing it on their street, Steve. He's so rich. He's just destroying New York in a monster truck. But I love the wink he throws at his granddaughter or soon-to-be granddaughter. He's having fun, Steve. He's the fun granddad.
And Jay arrives in L.A. He actually runs into Siskel and Ebert at the airport. They get limos, they get first class treatment, top notch celebrity treatment. But Jay, he gets a valet motorcycle ride.
Where the hell were you? He puts them in like a headlock as they're on the 405. The biker takes a fancy to Alice and just like undoes the little sidecar he has and just sends Jay into the ghetto, Steve. He's on, what's it called? I used to live there.
He's on the corner of Crip Street and Blood Street.
So LA's not treating him too well, but yeah, he's going to the Oscars, Steve. When he shows up, like nobody wants to take his picture.
Yeah, they don't care about him because they're announcing like, "Hey, it's Roger Ebert. Yay! Here's Gene Siskel. Yay! And here's Jay Sherman."
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah. You even got Oscar there, the actual Oscar who inspired the statue. He's there with his family. His wife is like a Golden Globe.
His daughter's Emmy, and she has the little thing on. You know, they're all the statues. That's the joke. The Golden Globe chick has those on her tees. So, yeah, stacked family, Steve. Handsome. Gold.
One of the categories is special effects. The nominee is for making Warren Beatty look like a young man, which I didn't appreciate, man. No Warren Beatty slander.
Yeah, they just show him on the screen looking great, and then they show him in the audience. He's like, "Is that me?" I like Jay's in the back because he's going to give out an award, but he finds out that these Oscars, Steve, it's just some chocolate. It's an Easter bunny.
And then when he comes out, he's got a mouthful of chocolate. This is like smeared all over his lips and his cheeks, like he was just eating ass.
You're a wordsmith, Steve.
Yeah,
Like he was eating ass. That's exactly what he was doing, Steve.
Definitely wasn't eating Alice. Then we have the Critic musical. They roll out all the top critics, and they're doing their thing. And then Gene Shalit, we see him for the first time. We see Rex Reed, who I found out he's a film critic. We're missing Jay Sherman up until the end. Like he's struggling trying to get out of this film reel.
It's like a trap door or something, but he can't get out. So he's like banging on it. You can hear it happening, but they're like, go, 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 because they don't give a shit. Everybody that meant anything already went. So Jay's trying to come out. He can't. They move on. I forget what they're presenting, but then they mention like a movie with like some real like heart to it, like maybe like a Schindler's List. I forget what it was. But then Jay comes out and is like, "It stinks," at the most horrible time possible. And basically, I don't know if he can ruin the Oscars, Steve. It's already just kind of a dreary thing.
They're on their way back, and Siskel and Ebert, they get first class treatment. The movie that they're going to watch is the Rain Man sequel, Snowman.
Definitely melted. Definitely melted. Definitely bad. It's awesome.
Jay and Alice, they're not in first class. They're not even in coach. I don't know what the hell this is, but they're being served chicken fish.
Yeah. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm confused. And it's literally chicken and fish, Steve. I don't know where they got this.
All of a sudden, Siskel and Ebert, they're arguing about Snowman, right?
Yeah. I think Siskel loved it. Ebert hated it. Then it gets personal, Steve. Then we get to throwing fisticuffs.
It's like it starts turning into the plane ride from hell, like Brock Lesnar and Kurt Hennig. But it even gets to outside the plane where they're on the wings. And I love the callback to that classic Twilight Zone episode where a young William Shatner, he sees these monsters fighting on the wing.
There's something on the wing. Something. And there is something on the wing, Steve. But then I love that they're mid-fight on an airplane wing, and Jay Sherman's like pressed up against the glass looking at him, and they're like, "Ew."
Yeah, they had time to still disrespect him. And we cut to an episode of Soft Copy, and Siskel and Ebert, they're announcing that they broke up. Then they do a timeline of their careers.
And it's just heartfelt, Steve. These guys came from humble beginnings of doing roadside lemonade stand style critiques of movies. which I love. I wish I knew you could do that. I would have done that. This movie sucks. Some guy throws you a quarter. That's great.
We weren't thinking next level like that. And they got to the point where they had their own merchandise. They got their own salt and pepper shakers. They even had a whack-a-mole.
It got stuck, Steve. You could just whack the hell out of Ebert or Siskel. And I know this is a spoof of it, but these guys were famous as hell. You know,
I mean, they're the Michael Jordans of this.
All the time, whenever, like, I forget when it came on. I feel like it came on late night.
Yeah.
And I remember this show, dude. I remember the whole intro, the whole them like typing on a typewriter and throwing it up and stuff. It was a thing. I mean, these guys were, I don't know if you respect them, but they were super famous for being critics. There probably were Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel salt shakers someplace that you could get. Probably. That's hilarious. And if there are those, can you please send them to happen in the 90s so I can put them up behind me, and I'll display them on every show lovingly.
You hear that? But now they're holding interviews to fill those positions. And Ebert, he's interviewing a guy who eventually melts from watching the preview.
Indiana Jones style. It's like the Temple of Doom, Steve. He just sees he sees the Holy Grail and just starts melting. So you gotta train for this, Steve. We're not all meant to be critics.
Siskel's interview is great because the guy, he sounds like the perfect candidate. He's going on this whole spiel. He's not skipping a beat. And then Siskel's like, "You're Satan, aren't you?"
You caught me again, Siskel. That was great. That was awesome. Yeah, it just seemed too good to be true. It came out of nowhere. He's like, okay, you're Satan, aren't you? Like he was expecting it. I love that.
Like he's been there before. Probably has because it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
But we come back to Jay and Alice, and she's trying to encourage him to take that role, at least like see what it's about. It's like, nah, I don't know. But she's like, you'll regret it.
You were born for this, Jay. That's a good Alice, Steve. And he's basically third up, unless you want to get Shalit in the mix, and nobody wants to hang out with Gene Shalit, Steve. I can tell you that from experience. I had a couple of run-ins. So Jay, he's on the market.
Siskel and Ebert, they actually have a tell-all movie. They have two of them, but the Fox version, it's just black people, and the main guy's just like, ooty booty, yeah, boy.
It's crazy.
We see Ebert at the restaurant, and before he makes his decision, he's like, I'll take the next person that walks by this window. And it's Jay. It's like, all right, the next person that walks by this window. And it's Jay again. All right, the next person that walks into the restaurant.
Hey. Jay's waiting, Steve. He's in the weeds.
Hey, man, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take because he is really going the extra mile. He's showing up at the restaurants. He's showing up at the beach. He's showing up in their dreams, and he's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, put this kind of initiative into just your everyday life. You're going to be a billionaire, Jay Sherman, but he's really pulling all the like CIA level stops to secure one of these bags, and I get it.
When he goes back to the office, his boss Duke, he sees that he's at least entertaining the idea because Siskel, he leaves a message, and in Ebert, he leaves a message. Rex Reed leaves a message, and he's like, you know what? I've had it. You don't even respect me. You think I'm a homo. Like, he just walks out, and Duke's like, you'll be back.
Kind of right, Duke. Kind of right. But Duke doesn't know that. And like I said, at one point we see this man sobbing over a photo of Jay. And I love that because he seems like such an asshole. This is like the one time I feel like Duke, we get to see the real Duke.
He's humanized. In Siskel and Sherman, that's what the new name's going to be, I guess. Siskel and Sherman, they're going through the rehearsal, and Siskel tells them, hey, put on this wig. Now try on these glasses.
Dress like Roger? I'm not Roger. This is very romance level chicanery here, Steve. Because, yeah, Siskel, he doesn't want a new co-host. He wants the old co-host. And even if it's not the guy, it's going to look like Roger Ebert. And I got to be honest. I take these glasses off. I wouldn't know the difference, Steve.
Especially if he puts on that wig. And then we cut to Ebert and Jay. And Ebert, he just keeps calling him Gene. Yeah, whatever you say, Gene. My name is Jay.
Cool, Gene. Anyway, Gene.
Yeah. And again, he runs off and cries, I'll never be Gene. I'm not Gene.
So I think now the mission is clear. Jay even knows. It's not about the career anymore. We got to get these two lovers back into each other's lives.
The world needs it, Matt. And the signs are there because he turns around and he sees Ebert just on the seesaw, looking all lonely. Nobody on the other side to make that seesaw work.
Just a loud clunking sound as as he hits the ground. It's sad, Steve.
And then Siskel, cut to him, and he's sad. And he cuts into a musical. We come back to Ebert. He cuts into a musical. And then we cut to Duke, who starts singing. He's singing and crying.
Jay. It's a very musical episode.
Jay realizes, I can't take the job.
Yeah, so he sets up like this little kind of faux romantic rendezvous for Siskel and Ebert to reconnect. Kind of gets them in the same place, like a parent trap situation. Even arranges for a nice little table with candles and some champagne. Romantic music.
He masquerades himself as Woody Allen, though, over the phone. Oh, God, this is Woody home. Why don't you meet me at Empire State Building?
Me and Sun Yi are going to be up there talking to my friend Jeff. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things with Jeff.
So they go to Empire State Building, and as they get off the elevator, they see each other.
Oh, hey, Gene.
Hey, bitch.
But they start talking. The sparks just immediately start flying, Steve. They start smiling like they used to. They feel faint around each other again. We're back, Steve, basically.
Show me that smile. Don't waste another minute on your crying.
Yeah, dude. But I gotta say, if we gotta we gotta start ranking Critic episodes because there's so few, this is in the top 5. Because it's got everything you want, got a bunch of fun cameos, and it's super musical. It's always has a little bit of singing because I feel like that's sort of Lovitz's bag a little bit, but they definitely knocked it out of the park on this one. And it's a cool time capsule because we get Siskel and Ebert, we get to hear their voices. This is a fun little thing that for some people that are no longer around, I think it's a kind of a fun tribute to them.
And they even go meta at the end because Siskel and Ebert, they rate the episode.
And we get to see that actual, their intro to the show, I think. We get to see that. That's a historical thing. That was for a solid decade of my life. I remember watching that, especially when there were movies coming out that I was looking forward to. It was like a fun little preview. Everybody does it now on YouTube, but you were like, okay, Siskel and Ebert thought it sucked. I guess I'm going to like it.
Yeah. They were the mock. In 1996, Roseanne airs season 8, episode 19, Springtime for David. David leaves the Connor household to work and live at a bizarre amusement park.
This is a creepy episode, I gotta be honest.
I met people who actually worked at Disney when I was at Fox, man, and ironically, none of them knew each other, but they just happened to work there for a summer job, and it was the same. Within that group, it was like this cult, we don't cuss, we don't use profanity, I don't drink beer, I drink milk.
Oh, God. Yeah, I worked at Universal Studios, and I met a lot of people that did the tours, but it was in LA, so it was just people that were actors. So there was people that were crazy, lunatics that could just flip a switch and just be like, here's where they filmed Psycho. Watch out. And they turn that on and be like that cheesy guy. But yeah, in this episode, I got to say, This is more like some sort of weird Nazi camp or something. I don't even the name sounds Nazi.
I mean, especially if you're parodying Disney. So yeah, that's right
There
on.
you go. I guess that actually makes a lot of sense.
Darlene and DJ, they're making a bet. DJ calls her a sucker. You're gonna lose. And after they're going back and forth, DJ he turns around and gets their pet turtle, Lightning, and then Darlene she turns around and get their baby brother.
Yeah, and this seems like a fun game. They're betting something on it, maybe a gentleman's bet, but then Dan comes in. You think they're about to get in trouble, but he's like 5 on the turtle. You don't even got confidence on his own child, Steve.
Then cue that classic theme song. This is one of my favorite renditions of it because you're seeing them throughout the different eras from the very first season up until current. And shame on me if you want, but I'm cracking season 8 Roseanne. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the hair, maybe it's the little tan. I think it's a combination of both of them. Yeah.
I mean, I told you once that I thought Rosie O'Donnell in A League of Their Own was hot, and I feel like it's kind of a similar vibe, Steve. So I'd be remiss if I said that I didn't get it. And I kind of see what you're saying, especially when I think here's what it is. I think I've done the math on this.
Okay.
You're seeing her season 1 transform a couple of times. So when you put season 8 Roseanne up against Lawrence Taylor looking season 1 Roseanne, big dog status. I mean, it's a congratulations, you did it, Roseanne, but it is a significant change. So I think you're getting a little skewed on that, where you're like, well, at least I'm not going up against an offensive lineman on the Denver Broncos. Like, get out there, move the line.
Fucking built like JJ Watt. But when we come back, David, he does rush into the household and he's just excited to announce he's got a new job, a really good job. They even provide meals and housing. I don't have to eat out of y'all's fridge.
Hey, he feels bad. He's taken out of their pockets and whatnot. So they're like, oh, I mean, okay. Sounds like a good thing. And he's very excited. I mean, everybody knows about this place. What is it called again? Edelweiss.
Edelweiss, yeah. Edelweiss Gardens.
Yeah, it sounds like a beer place. It sounds like something, but it doesn't sound like something fun to me. It sounds like some weird cult stuff. And that's kind of where we end up going, Steve, because all of a sudden we're in like this dorm room, right?
Hirschman Bromfield.
Basically. Cinder blocks, no windows. They get in there and everyone's like, oh, this is great. It looks like a prison.
Yeah, they even have the rules and regulations written on the wall. And then as they're moving David in, Doug rushes in. And Doug is a little bit turned, a little too turned.
Oh. I mean, something's off, Steve. The machinations, something's skitzing out. But even the Connors, even Dan Connor, a man who will stand up to anything for justice, gets creeped out by this guy. And that says something. He's got like that receptionist energy, but in the form of like a really psycho looking dude, which is just terrifying, to be honest. Hey.
What a fun looking group. You know, he reminds me of that episode of Family Guy we covered where Meg has a new best friend and she's a part of a cult. She's just very kind to the family. Hi, Mr. Griffin. It's very nice to meet you. What a nice family you have. And then she just short circuits.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what we're seeing here. But everyone's kind of creeped out, very stark accommodations. The guy's saying weird stuff about this place is great. He's very ooh-rah about it. The weird rules on the wall and the schedule that they're showing, getting up at 6, prayer stuff, all this stuff. It looks kind of crazy. Everybody's very creeped out by the guy and what's going on. But David's like, look, guys, this is a good thing for me. I appreciate you guys bringing for me. And even the guy's like, okay, we're going to go do a smile training now. You guys got to get the hell out of here.
You shouldn't read things on the wall, Jackie. And then he embraces David. He's like, he's one of us now. They're all creeped out by Doug, except for David.
I feel like David even is, but I mean, it's like 3 hots and a cot, Steve. I mean, I guess he just wants to be out there and be self-sufficient. So David's in a cult. And the Connors are like, Okay, see you, David.
And they're having like a staff meeting or an orientation, and Mr. Schlosser, he walks in. He's like the head of this department. David introduces himself. He's new to the crew, and he finds out that they're doing some character simulation. It's not just about playing the hare, Hans the hare. You actually have to be the character.
You must imbue yourself with him and then take his spirit inside of you. Everybody is very cult-like, even the hair. And like the test, like, what's he doing wrong, group? His ear's not this, or he shouldn't be sitting or whatever. It's all very creepy, but this is how they train people to work in an amusement park. So again, we're seeing some realism here, but again, David's in a cult, Steve.
Yeah, and it's very unsettling. His ears aren't pointing to 10 and 2 because they're grilling him about what it is. He's like, look, David, that's not the right answer. A sitting bunny is an invitation to mayhem.
Stop messing with the system, David. He's apologetic. He didn't have time to read the hair training manual, Steve. So I guess they give him a pass.
And I'm just realizing that the title of this is a take on Springtime for Hitler.
Oh, well, there you go. And I mean, like I said, Edelweiss, all these things, I'm sure if we looked into it a little bit, there's probably some allusion to Nazi stuff, and it sounds very Nazi. And even the guy, he looks very German. Let's put it like that. Very strict stuff. David's sort of learning the ropes. We see that. And then we cut to the Connors, and that's where he does his visit with the Connors, right, Steve? The new David.
The new David.
New and improved David. He shows up. He's got the side part. He's got the tie. He's got the tie clip, Steve.
And Roseanne hates this.
Hi, Roseanne. Fancy to see you. It's only been like 2 weeks, I think she says. This guy's fully brainwashed at this point. And Roseanne's like, this is creepy. Dan's a little, I guess, creeped out, but he's just kind of making fun of him. And he thinks he looks great, you know?
Well, he understands that David, this is his path. He's trying to be a young man, a young, responsible man. And maybe he needs to be a part of a team. Like, I was a part of a team. It made me a better man. Look at me now.
You made me a better man, Roseanne, but team sports really did something to improve me, and maybe it'll help David out. He's not an athlete, so maybe he can be a bunny.
Hans the hare.
But David's all in. He's like, yeah, I love it. You know, he's making out like it's a good thing. Look at me. I'm all fancy. But he's got like that vibe of the dude that they met when they brought David to the place. It's starting to rub off on him, and everybody's like, I don't know. This is kind of weird. This is Roseanne's house. We can't be acting like that.
Going back to Edelweiss, they're having one of their training sessions or rehearsals. He's talking to this chick who has a thing for Hans the hare. Maybe she's a future bestialis. That's
yeah.
thing.
Well, she's like, always wanted to be married to Hans the hare. And then she gives him a weird smile. But it's like, bitch, there's 15 Hans the hares in this class. Why are you singling me out with that psycho talk?
Well, you know what? Isn't there a thing where a person has a fetish for people in costumes? Isn't that a thing?
Furries, dude. Hell yeah.
Furries. That's what she
Furries, bro. Hell yeah. That's probably what this whole thing is now that I'm thinking about it. David got himself into some sort of weird 90s furry cult before this shit just went mainstream. You know, this is all just training to get these guys banging in these costumes. So
the chick is actually cute, though.
Oh, she's very, I mean, you know, she's in a bunny costume, but yeah, of course.
I mean, if you're going to be around a bunch of weirdos, like at least talk to the cutest one.
Yeah. And I mean, you should, lady who was this girl, who played this girl, you should feel great about that because Steve also said he would bang season 8 Roseanne. So you're right up there in those.
Yeah, man, that's upper echelon. This is actually a rite of passage ceremony for David. He's going to get the head put on him by the original Hans the hare. They roll out the OG Hans the hare. That's a big deal. He has to make a vow that he'll never do anything to disgrace the bunny, the head of the bunny.
Just a quick shout out to the original Hans the hare who's played by the old man. I don't know. This is such a deep cut. He was the old man in The Wedding Singer. that tried to punch somebody, and he just was like, I used to be stronger. But here, he's strong enough to lift that hair head. This is like being knighted by the queen, I guess, in Edelweiss. As the head's coming down, Steve, we hear a rumbling coming from off screen, and Roseanne comes in. She's looking for David. Where's David at? But David's not here.
How'd you get past the security ghosts?
Shut up, you bitch. I mean, Roseanne's really just bullying everybody. But here's the thing, Steve. There is no David. There's only the Edelweiss hair, whatever his name is. That's one of the rules. You can't identify as anything but this hair. So David, he's not giving it up.
They'll only respond to the name we've given them.
All right. Well, who's the kid that hates animals? Who said the buffaloes got what they deserve?
And then they all point out David.
That's all it took.
They mark
But
him
he's
out.
like, why are you doing this? Why are you embarrassing me?
David, you do not have to do this. And that's another thing we skipped over, like the art department. He was promised a chance at getting into the Edelweiss art department. And when he asked Mr. Schlosser about it, he's just like, how many of you came here to work at the art department? They all just about raised their hand.
It's a long line, Steve. You got to put in your dues. David's at the bottom of the ladder right now, so it's going to be a long wait. And Roseanne's like, you don't got to do this. Like, this is crazy. That guy who's the commandant or whatever, this trainer guy, he's going to fuck you. We need to get some cops into this place just to get everything checked out to make sure that this isn't some kind of trafficking situation, Steve. But he did his job. He played a good creep in this, Steve. He played a good brainwasher. Roseanne's like, well, this is over with. David, you're done. You're done with this Nazi shit. Edelweiss is down a bunny, Steve. But here's my thing. I was thinking about this. In this world that they've explained, this training situation is for all the new employees. Is there more of these psychos? You know what I mean? Like, how big is this organization? Because I'm concerned.
They never fall off. They just recharge, Matt. And
They don't die, they just multiply, Steve.
they just multiply. And in the closing credits, we see Roseanne basically trying to deprogram David.
Going at him, Steve. See, this is CIA level stuff going on here. She's hitting him with water. She slaps him a couple of times. If anybody's going to deprogram you, I trust Roseanne. She throws a heavy right, Steve.
Yeah. And she can fight. I like that. But in 1990 in 1996, Weird Al Yankovic releases Bad Hair Day, and this is the one that has Amish Paradise. But something I've always appreciated, well, not always, but from doing this show, one of his signature moves on his albums is he does like a medley. He does plays the accordion, and he goes like through all the different popular songs of that time. You know, he does a little Stone Temple Pilots, and then he goes into like Green Day, then he goes into like, I don't know, Salt and Pepper or something like that. But it's him playing on the accordion without skipping a beat. He's just going into different tones and tunes, man, which shout out to that, bro.
There's some notable songs on this. So Amish Paradise, I think that's the banger everybody's like looking for off this. But there was the Gump song. That's the one I forgot about. There's a song called Gump. That's a parody of that song Lump from the Presidents of the United States of America. Shout out. Love that band. Produced by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Cleveland Rocks. They did that too.
That's a great song too. And I love what you said about the medley. He did do that. That was something I also forgot about. But just a huge shout out to Weird Al Yankovic, who's lived up until now and just been awesome as hell. Been a singular person, never really done anything but what he's done, you know, just being himself. And man, I'm a huge fan. Love the product.
1999, The Corruptor premieres.
With the aid from a New York City policeman, a top immigrant cop tries to stop drug trafficking and corruption by immigrant Chinese triads. But things get complicated when the triads try to bribe the policeman.
Directed by James Foley, starring Chow Yun-fat, Mark Wahlberg, Rick Young, Paul Ben-Victor, Byron Mann, and Brian Cox.
Hilarity does not ensue.
Totally.
There's nothing wrong with this movie. It's got Brian Cox. It's got Chow Yun-fat. But this is what I feel like it explains why a movie, like, you can't make shot-for-shot remakes, and you can't expect to, like, just basically replicate the style of something and it be as good as something. So I'm a huge fan of Chow Yun-fat. I'm a huge fan of, like, Hard Boiled and those Hong Kong action movies.
Classic.
And I feel like this is a cut and paste where somebody is like, all those shots, replicate it, get some of these people, get Chow Yun-fat, get everything that we love of those movies. But there's just something missing where it's not 100%. I'm not giving this a huge endorsement. It's fine. It's like a mid-action movie, but I don't know. There's better from everybody. But I will say, for Americanized movies that Chow Yun-fat was in, he actually kills this movie. And it's just, I feel bad that it's not as good as it should be. He's an anti what he was in, like, Hard Boiled, an untouchable cop. In this, he's a corrupt cop. You know, it's kind of cool.
I lost interest probably not even halfway through the movie. I made it as far as I did solely for the Chow Yun-fat and Dirk Diggler.
It's what I was saying. There's just something missing from this movie. I don't know whether it's pacing or editing or what, where it's just like,
Yes.
it's just not, like, enjoyable enough to really get so, like, fully interested like you would, like, with a Lethal Weapon or, you know, something better than this. Even
Money
a Hard
Talks.
Boiled, anything. Yeah, Money Talks.
Rush Hour.
There's a couple things that I wanted to note in this. One, cool to see Chow Yun-fat. Love seeing double gun Chow Yun-fat movies. Love seeing him, like, that's cool. That's a great thing in this movie. Love seeing Brian Cox. And I want to point out this weird thing that I figured out that happened. There's a guy in this movie named Benny, right? This old Chinese man. He blows himself away in this movie.
Yeah.
This guy played old Chinese and Asian men in many movies. But one movie in particular, Steve, he played an Uncle Benny, who was a gangster in Lethal Weapon movie. And I'm wondering if this is like some sort of like a weird mixing of, is this in the same universe as a Lethal Weapon? Because he's playing Benny in this and he's an Uncle Benny in another thing. I think
Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah. That's my interesting thing about the Corruptor. But other than that, unless it's you literally just have nothing else to do and need something to do, or you're on an airplane, I don't know, man. There's just something missing about it.
That guy's name is Kim Chan. He was also in 16 Blocks, and he was in The Honeymooners, that Cedric the Entertainer and Mike Epps remake.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's literally, and if you go down his career, it's like Thai man, Asian man, old Asian man, or like, you know, Mr. Soon or something like that. It's
God.
all, yeah.
They're all races. Dim Sum Cook.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But I was like, he played Uncle Benny in Lethal Weapon. Is this like a mixing? Did the same writer just put this in? Or it's probably just lazy writing. Like, call him Benny. I don't know.
Jono, Japanese Buyer number 2, Chinese Customer, Ling, Park Bum, Chinatown Butcher, Korean Flower Vendor, Old Asian Man, Hong Kong Taylor.
I mean, Old Asian Man, he's got to have like 200 credits, and half of them are some version of Old Asian Man. You know?
in Devil's Advocate, he was Chinese Man. No old, you know.
I think one of them, it's Thai guy.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really do a lot of work when you're at that level of the casting, but I just found that funny. And yeah, I don't know. Mark Wahlberg, you've done better, you know, step it up a little bit.
Totally. And also in 1999, Baby Geniuses premieres, and Baby Geniuses can suck baby penises. And that's all. I only want to do that. I know I gave it off the list, but I only wanted to bring that up just to use that joke. That's how petty I am.
That's good work, Steve. I gave you credit before, and I'm giving you credit again. I gotta give it up.
Salute. But what are the callbacks this week?
I don't really have one prepared, but I was like telling you about that heartfelt thing about The Rock and the Down syndrome guy. And I just got to give credit to The Rock, man. It warmed my heart today. I was feeling a little bit down, and it's just cool. I know people have like you said, they want to like tear down this guy, and maybe he's a little oversaturated. But man, it's cool when you see people that are like your heroes being heroes, and it's just made me feel good. There's a lot of negative stuff going on right now, and got to point out something great. Give credit where credit's due.
And,
What about you, Steve? What are your
man, I think the only thing, there are two things I have. Frasier is airing High Crane Drifter, and I did like this episode, but I feel like, man, we can hold off for a better Frasier episode because we're back in his timeline, the Frasier Crane timeline. So there's obviously more to pick from that show. But it was a good episode, man. I like how Frasier's like, man, I don't care. I'm getting this seat. Because the guy was being a jerk to him. He's like, yeah, maybe you should have took it sooner. Like, oh, yeah. And he just throws him out. And he makes his dad proud. Like, oh, yeah, so you do got it in you. Oh, man, all right. And Niles gets jealous. Like, I was always the one that ran away.
Let me give you ethics lesson or whatever. Yeah, dude, I love that episode.
And also, News Radio is airing Twins, and it has a Jon Stewart cameo because I guess he's playing Andy Dick's twin brother, but he's not really his twin brother. It's just Andy Dick's character is just that dumb to where he believed that. Because Jon Stewart's like, dude, think about it. You have blonde hair. I have black hair. I'm Jewish. You're not. You're Jewish? So that was a good episode, man. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister, yeah, she's licking my balls. Biggest balls she's ever seen. Big King Kong balls. Check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Mad G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Suave.